Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome back to another wonderful edition of Jedi Academy. I'm one of your hosts from the RSG crew, Ranger J 1999 from Team Instinct, and welcome to the Jedi Academy. What is the Jedi Academy? That's where we take all the best and brightest in the YouTubers, and then not so bright like myself, and we answer all your questions. This is a Q&A show. If you're new to the show, the way it works is if you put your question, make sure it's in the form of a question, especially today because it is just me from the RSG crew. I'm doing everything along as scooping questions. So if you have questions, put them in the chat. Make sure it's in the form of a question, and I will scoop them up and I will get it to our panel, which I will introduce here in a second. And that's what we all do. You have your questions for Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, and we're here to answer them. So, hey, everybody in the chat, welcome. Good morning to all you guys. Glad to have you here. Let's introduce the panel and let's get started on this fine, wonderful, early Saturday morning. Good Lord in heaven. Let's start from my brother from another mother from Team Instinct. You know him, you love him. Warrior, what's going on, buddy?
Yo, what's happening? How you doing, man?
What's going on, player? Also joining us, we've got a new person joining us today. He's an up and coming YouTuber, just recently started, but he loves the game and he wanted to be on. And I was like, well, come on down. And that would be Hagar the Horrible. Hagar, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, what's happening? I've made up and coming status. I feel proud.
That's
good
right.
To be here.
You get the t-shirt, buddy. So, also join us from across the pond. We have, of course, the crew from all the way over in Europe. First, let's introduce them. Mike Hunt. Mike, what's going on, buddy?
All right, Governor.
Oi.
Yeah. Sunday. No, is it Sunday? No, I'm not sure where I am at the moment, but I know I'm here.
There's no really, that's normal for you. Also join us, and we will have a translator for him. But he's back joining us again. Turbo is back with us. Turbs, what's up, buddy?
Well, hello there.
Well, hello there.
How's everybody doing?
We're doing good.
Well, hello there.
Yeah, Turb's been in the process, I guess, moving and, life stuff, and hasn't been able to be on, but we're glad to have him back. But did you have we didn't even get to ask you about, like, how was your Christmas and holidays and stuff like that?
Yeah, good. Family stuff, kids, bit of booze. I'm actually on a dry January. I'm doing well. Not had a drink since the 1st of Jan. Doing good.
You are slacking, buddy. You need to get on that. I mean, that's ridiculous.
He's doing a pound of Coke a week, though.
Well, that's different. It's a hell of a drug. And then, of course, joining us from Germany, my young apprentice, Darth Bella. Guten Tag, Darth Bella.
Guten Tag, Ranger. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. I hope you have your coffee and everything's good to go.
Yeah, I got 2 coffee, actually. Oh. I need them today.
Jesus, it's a 2 coffee day already. Oh, Lord in heaven. And I think that's what we got for today. If anybody else pops in or anything, well, I won't know because I'm a little busy right now. So get your questions in, guys, while we're getting set up and everything. So start throwing your questions in. I'll just throw it in there. We had the Executioner First Order style brought into the game this week. Anybody wants to share their thoughts on First Order Executioner?
Monochrome.
Or as you call it, the Panda.
Deaf Panda. Yeah. I think I'm plagiarizing somebody else calling him Deaf Panda, but yeah, no, looks good. I mean, it's all about the kit they wear, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. I mean, our first thing we notice is he's a little slow, but he does have turn meter manipulation and stuff like that. So, I mean, he looks fine. So I mean,
his death stick thing looks like a wrench from the side.
Maybe
when he's not swinging it around using it, it looks like a wrench. He looks like he's off to.
I call him the First Order pool boy because that damn thing, when it's opened, it looks like one of those things you use to scoop the crap out of a pool.
The nets.
Oh, we're going to have to team him up with Hermit Yoda, aren't we?
Well, it makes sense because he's pool boy, and then Kylo Ren Unmasked is shirtless Kylo Ren, so he must be the guy that's around the pool. But then that means maybe they're a thing. I don't know.
It kind of reminds me of the rat catcher from bloody, I forget which film it is.
Tizzy Bang Bang.
It looks like a futuristic rat trap. Like a child catcher. I'm going to get you.
I thought it looked like a giant bottle opener myself.
That's fantastic. Oh, Jesus. But any things about his kit and how to work with everything?
As long as you're in PvE where you give a chance for the ability to ramp up, then I think it's going to be phenomenal. I think in PvP, I think there will be some first order fanatics out there that are going to make it work. I had a lot of first order people that kind of responded to me and said, you're an idiot. You don't know how to play first order. Side note, I'm an idiot. I don't know how to play first order. I'm the first one to admit that. I don't use them often. So yes, I am sure that I was off key when I was using them, but that's true with every team when they're new. I didn't know how to use Jedi Ray when I first got her either, and I had no problems winning with her. And so I'm sure there will be some compositions that come out over the next couple of months in PvP for the hardcore, that have already done 4 Zetas in first order, and they'll figure out a way to make him work. And I think he'll do okay there. But I think he's kind of like Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum. You got to build an entire team around him to make him work. And if you do, you might be able to see him shine pretty well. But if you don't do that, he's not a plug and play. You can't just slap him into any team and he'd do well, except for maybe like Asajj Ventress, you can just throw her into a phase 3 team and she does well. Maybe if you threw him into a phase 3 team, he might, be able to kind of be that plug and play style. But for PvE, he's going to kick major butt, especially territory wars and territory battles.
All right. Anybody else? Thoughts on the old Executioner? Okay. So we're starting to get the questions in. Make sure you guys get your questions. Make sure it's a form of a question. I am scooping them up, and I will be answering the questions. So bear with me. I'm doing multiple things today. Slash Rated Hordes. No, Finn is not sick. He is at Temple today. Loki is driving somewhere to Las Vegas. I think he's got one of his events. Grande is in solitary, I believe. Doing his prison thing. No, he's doing the whole daughter swimming thing. So it's just a little old me from the RSG crew. So let's get started here. Let's see. We'll start with Turbo. Turbo hasn't been here for a while, so we'll give you the first question, Turbs. This is from Junior Hawk 003. He says, question, what does the panel think about the Chimera event ending right before the Home 1 event? Interesting. Ooh.
I heard they changed. I heard that Kazi went on and said they're gonna bump up or bump back, make it earlier the Home 1 event. Is that true?
I don't know.
There was a note from, I don't know, Cozy Spoon or someone. They have new dates for the event.
Oh, well then.
Or was it just a Reddit post asking for new dates?
Wasn't there something in the forums or about that? I saw something. I remember reading the original post and it said that they would be updated. Has it been updated? Anybody know?
I don't know. It does make sense them being the opposite way around though, because you need one to get Chimera, don't you?
Yeah.
In the world of EA, it makes perfect sense.
Well, yeah. I know what'll throw a spanner in the works.
I'll show those players as soon as in charge here. Oh, you want Chimera, do you? Well, suck it. No.
In all honesty, I'm like most of you guys. I've already got the Chimera, so I've not actually looked, and I've not been looking at the dates. But if it is that way around, and it's the Home 1 after the Chimera, they're just backwards.
Well, I know they'd had him back in. I mean, I've got both. The only one I don't have is Mesa's ship. I haven't seen it. Endurance. But Home 1 and Executrix, I got to 7 stars already, so I'm not worried about it. Probably why I didn't look too much into this. But yeah, that is really odd that they would do that. You would think that they would probably want people to maybe get this. I don't know. I mean, kind of an odd play, but if they're fixing it, then I think that should be okay. If I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I just checked and I can't see. I just found the Reddit post asking for them to reverse it, but I don't know. I couldn't see right now if they did or did not.
Yeah, so stay tuned with that, folks. We'll figure it out and stuff, and we'll. Yeah, Junior Hawk just messaged me, said Home 1 is still listed as the 25th as we speak. So So as it stands right now, home one will be after the Chimera event. Interesting. But we've had plenty of opportunity to get him before then, right? I mean, it's not like they haven't put him out there to get him, right? I mean, because I got mine already 7 stars, but I think there are probably some newer players and stuff that haven't had an opportunity. So yeah, that doesn't make sense at all. Ugh. Oh well, we'll see what happens, guys. But hopefully that doesn't stay as intended. They'll get that fixed for us. All right. Next question. We'll go to our new guy. We'll break him in. Hagar. This is from Lynch8056, and their question is: I'm looking to remod my episode 7 Kylo Ren. What is the best mod set to use?
Oh, let's see. For Kylo, is it crit damage, crit chance, or what do I got on mine? I have a whole mishmash of stuff on mine. Let's see. He does maybe crit damage, crit chance.
Couldn't go wrong with that. I'm trying to think of who I just did in last night. I put a bunch of mods on him.
With protection, of course. But you got the Zeta. You're going to use him. You might as well Zeta him. I stack up his protection. Not on the triangle, of course. Damage on the triangle. Crit damage on the triangle.
Right. It makes sense. Oh, Turbo has to go. Okay, well, everybody, Turbo had to leave, so at least we got one question before he had to go do the stuff. Oh, no. All right, so yeah, crit damage, crit chance. Anybody else? Thoughts on Unmasked Kylo Ren mods?
Oh, I went crit chance and potency on mine, but mine was geared for a Phasma lead rather than a crew. So yeah, but I've got mine a bit quick. Mine's running at 192. I slowed him down a bit actually, but he's got offense. He's got a lot of offense cross, offense triangle, and a lot of secondary offense as well.
All right. Next question. This is kind of for everybody. We'll still kind of go around the corn and then answer this. So David Rodriguez says, question, what teams do you like to use in Arena? And this is for everybody. So we'll start with Darth Bella. Bella, what teams do you like to use in the Arena?
Yeah, I'm still using CLS mostly, and sometimes GK lead with Zaris. And often I put in a base if I need the AoE dispel. So I change a bit, but not a lot. I'm still using CLS and R2 and Thrawn and Raidhan and GK as a fifth.
Okay. What about you, Warrior?
I'm using a hodgepodge. I'm using Rey. Of course, with R2 and BB-8 and GK, those 4. And then I sub in the 5th. I've used IPD. I've used Old Ben. I've used Raid Han. I've used Thrawn. I've used the Scavenger Ray. I mean, there's probably 10 different characters I've put in there, subbed in there just to play around. And then, of course, I change up my team a lot, too. I mean, throughout a day, I may use 5 or 6 different teams on different battles throughout the day, and then at the end of the night when I'm going to bed, because I don't want to get bumped more than like once or twice, I'll put in my Tide team, which is the Old Ben and General Kenobi tank behind the Rey combo.
Yeah, for me it's the same. I'm still using CLS. It depends on who I'm facing. Sometimes I'll pop in my CLS team, and sometimes I'll put in my Jedi Ray team. And depending on who I'm facing, I'll either throw Thrawn or OG Han in there. If they're running the double tank, Old Ben, General Kenobi, I'll definitely throw in Thrawn in there, and then take care of the tanks, and then burn the team down. And then some teams I'll use CLS for it as well. So I'm kind of in the same boat that you are, kind of messing around with the Jedi Ray team. Warrior, what about you, Mike?
I'm a Sarge lead, Night Sisters, and I was running a Sarge. So it's a set for a Sarge, Talzin, Old Dakar, and Zombie. I was running Talia as my 5th, but I've switched over to GK and having a lot of fun there.
All right. And then Hagar, who you ready, buddy?
I'm running Warriors Classic Tide Team as my default. If I need to do against Night Sisters, I did a video subbing up Ben and putting in B2. But I also do Raid Han instead of old Ben. Handles them nicely as well. Yeah, that's what I run in Arena.
All right. Next question. This will go to Warrior. This is from Thoka. The question is, will 5-6 star... Wow, okay, this is really... Let me figure this out. Is a 5 to 6 star Thrawn good for an Arena team? I plan on using Rex Lead, Ezra, Rey, Obed, and Thrawn. I can't read the... Or Bubba Lead... Oh, his current team is Bubba Lead, Old Ben, Rey, Ezra, Barris, and 5s. So Thrawn at 5 or 6 stars, is he viable?
Yes, especially for that team. He needs a little bit of OP in that team. Definitely Thrawn will benefit that team. Thrawn is one of those characters at the moment he unlocks at 5 star, he is viable as he is at 7 stars. Obviously, stats go up a little at the 6 star and 7 star, but the 5 star is more than viable. But you do have to get him up to high gear level. I don't know where he's at leaderboard wise, but if he's in a mid-game, in-game shard, year and a half or more, he's going to have to get that thing up to gear 11. Max every ability out, and except for the 2 Zetas. You don't have to have either of the Zetas. The ebb and flow's nice, and so, if he has a Zeta, ebb and flow gives a little more consistency and a little more durability to Thrawn, which is nice, especially if you're stuck at gear 11 because you can't go to gear 12 because you're only 5 star. But yeah, even without the Zetas, he's completely viable. And even at gear 10, if you can't get him up to gear 11, gear 10, he's super viable. He's constantly reviving protection for himself and another, and cleansing and fracturing. And fracture is arguably with the best debuff in the entire game. So
yes, I agree 100% with that. All right. Next question. We actually have a question here for Darth Bella from King Castern. Question for Bella. In Fleet Arena, currently, I guess they're using Vader, Poe, Biggs, Wedge, and Bubba, with Geo, Soldier, Ghost, and Ahsoka off the bench under a Tarkin lead. Would you remove any of those pieces around or keep what they've got? I always rank from 99 to 50.
Can you just repeat the ships again, please?
Yeah, it's Vader, Poe, Biggs, Wedge, Bubba, with Geo, Soldier, Ghost, and Ahsoka off the bench under Tarkin.
Geo, Soldier, and who?
Ghost and Ahsoka ship.
Yeah. First of all, I like to have the 2 of them together, Ghost and Phantom. So
Great.
If he has Phantom, he should kick probably Ahsoka. I assume it's a 6-star ship because of the 3 reinforcements. And yeah, Tarkin with Poe, Wedge, Biggs, Boba and Vader. I would actually go a little bit more Empire and get the Imperial TIE Fighter. The TIE Reaper is very good, or the First Order TIE Fighter. That are good ships for a target locking fleet. And if you can just farm them and collect them, and yeah, Scimitar is missing also. So a bit more dark side ships. That would be cool.
All right, there you go. All right, back to the top. Let's see here. We have a question from Thoka. We'll go to this one to Mike. Let's see here. No, that one's already been. Let's see. Get rid of that. Oh, too many questions. I'm trying to keep up. All right, this is from General Gravis, Mike, and his question is: do you think we're getting Hux and Snoke anytime soon, or are we waiting until episode 9? Tired of First Order. Insert generic name characters.
Yeah. First Order could do with a few more named characters, but we know this is very tongue in cheek. We know we're getting shirtless Kylo.
No, we're not.
Are we getting a loved up Kylo as well?
No, we're not getting
a
that.
hint.
You have to stop it.
There was some hint about the take care of your loved ones or something.
That's not what that means.
Okay, I just thought that eventually we'll have 4 to 5 versions of each two, and as he's the only
Han Solos, you're gonna get another one soon. So there we go. I mean, we'll have 5 Han Solos.
Oh
you can
yeah,
run the whole solo lineup. I'm telling you,
we're gonna have moisturized Solo, aren't we? The young one.
Man, moisturizing. Oh my god!
I'm really looking forward to a prepubescent Solo to round
there
up.
You go, baby Solo. Oh Lord. Yeah, I don't know what their plans are for Snoke or Hux. I mean,
yeah. I don't think that it's going to be imminent.
I mean, Hux. I would like to see them bring in another capital ship and some more ships, and also make Hux the First Order capital ship. That would be kind of cool. Or Snoke and make his ship the ship. I mean, they could do some cool stuff with that. I think.
I think that we might see a few more droids. At some point, we're going to get the astro droids, aren't we, for the ships?
Well, let's not hold our breath on that,
to do that, we need them in game, don't we? So we've got a few now. Need some dark side ones.
But I think this is a bit different. We have on the one side the hardware that is missing, and then on the other side we have the astromechs mechanics like R2, Chopper, and so on.
BB-8.
They are real characters. They in the movies they are like what we see as hardware, but I don't believe they will become hardware. I mean, they are real characters. Chopper already is a character on the ship.
Yep. Yeah.
Episode 4, it's like, Uncle Owen, what about that one? You know that scene.
Yeah, Red 5.
Droids lined up. They already have a bunch of droids they could just whip up and throw in there.
Yeah, I mean, they got a plethora of droids they could do. So, I mean, they got the new BB-9, that they could throw in. I mean, so we'll see what happens with it. All right, next question will go to you, Hagar. Question from David Rodriguez. His question is, what do you feel the Resistance faction lacks that they can give Rose as far as abilities to make her viable on that team?
Oh, expose, obviously. Well, not lack, but
yeah, they need more exposed.
Resistance character. You're going to be an effective resistance character. You got to have some kind of more exposed. Heal? Does Resistance have a heal?
I mean, not really. I mean, the only heal on that team is, that's not even a heal. I mean, it just Finn does this thing for Poe, but I mean, other than that,
and then Illuminate Destiny. That's the only kind of heals that they can have. What about assists? I think it's BB. What's that?
I don't know. I mean, she's going to be a support character, obviously. So, I mean, I'd be shocked if she was an attacker.
She had some kind of droid synergy, like similar to Lobot, but obviously much better. She's like, well, what if she repaired? Repaired droids? What if that would be interesting?
I mean, they could just make her a generic character with some stuff that she could add to. I mean, with Jedi Rey coming out, I mean, if they do any kind of synergy with her as compared to with Finn. Or they're going to go with the Finn dynamic where her and Finn have bonuses together and stuff, and then does she fit into the Rey team? It'll be interesting to see which direction they take her as what her synergy is going to be in the team. Mm-hmm. As for abilities, if they keep up with the theme of exposes and stuff, which is what gets that team going, whether it's Rey or Finn, I mean, you would think it would be something along those lines, but they could go a wholly different direction, just make her support where she is a healer and she supports them and stuff. So don't really know. We'll have to look at her kit and see which way they take her and stuff like that.
From the movie, she's like, love conquers all. So I would see her as a healer. She didn't really fight. I mean, she
did get in the ship and do some battle. She did shoot and stuff.
But I see her more as like a healer type of person, and actually that's what they're missing. The only issue is, to be honest, if she had some sort of like health regeneration property, it would make the Rey team CLS overpowered because that's the only thing they're missing. My team can pretty much walk through any team except for Night Sisters. I struggle. Night Sisters are kind of the Achilles heel of the Ray teams, which is cool that there's this checks and balances type situation. So with her, if she brought that natural heal ability to the forefront for the Jedi Ray teams, the issue is then I would no longer have a problem with the Night Sisters. And while that would be cool personally, selfishly, that would suck for the balance of the game. So I don't know what's right, because what I think she would be built out to be like is going to be different than what she probably should be built out like to keep the balance of the game. I don't know. They've done a pretty decent job with the balancing of the game recently, like over the last 3 to 4 months. They've done a pretty good job. Most of the new characters aren't coming out overpowered, which is nice. They've brought a couple of really key reworks that have been good. I mean, Night Sisters were excellent, even though some people scoffed at it and some of the other new characters. So I don't know if they bring Rose in the way I think that it potentially would bring her in. It would make the Jedi Ray teams a little too overpowered, in my opinion. So time will tell if she comes in, and time will tell if she's got those.
If she works on pipes all day and is also an excellent fighter pilot, I'm expecting an excellent character from EA.
Oh Lord, she will have a stun too. Just saying.
But will she get a ship?
Or
will she be another Bodhi Rook?
Whatever. Keep going.
All right, this is a question for everybody. How did everyone do in the last Territory Wars? I don't know if it's meant for the very last one or the last two. Of course, everyone knows Team Instinct Echo lost to Valor, but then we beat the Jedi team. So we were 1 for 1. Go around.
I love that. The video.
Yeah, I'll be putting it. Yeah, so I'll be putting it up. Don't worry, it'll be up. How did you do, Mike?
Yeah, we did well. We were overpowered, I suppose. We were matched against Alliance Oro, and I think at the end of it we still had like over 50 squads standing. So yeah, that was a nice win. Actually, I did 4 screenshots. I got first in arena, ships, the guild challenge. We were all first, and we got the win on Territory Wars. It was like, yeah, if only every day could be like this. Give me the crystals, give me the Omegas, give me the Zetas, and the gear.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, guy, how'd you do?
I don't have a Wells Fargo card, but we still ended up getting a win in Territory Wars. It was a come-from-behind victory. They put a heavy CLS shell on the front, but once we pierced the shell, it was a squishy center that we devoured.
Well, there you go. Darth Bella, how did you guys do?
Yeah, we did good. We won the last but one territory war, and the last one we tied, so to say, in the last minute. But we took down all the opposing teams. That was really a thriller.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And then Warrior, how did your side of Team Instinct do?
Great. First one, they sandbagged, put the worst teams they could possibly put out. We cleared them. We figured, well, we're getting another tie because every time someone does this, we get a tie. But we were like, you know what? I'm glad we built a good defense, and hopefully we'll be able to make them earn it, and spend 10 hours or 12 hours beating up our teams before they take the tie. And they couldn't beat us, so we ended up getting the win even with them sandbagging. So that felt really good to have them throw in their, 40,000 galactic power teams and still lose to us. Then the second team, it was a little Team Instinct on Team Instinct action, non-sexual type, and it was pretty fun. It was actually really, really, really fun. I thought that would suck to have to go against our own team, but what it did was give us an opportunity to try out a ton of really unique defensive teams, all the things that we wouldn't take risks on against other teams, for both sides, to really strategize and practice and plan. And then we took a really long time, like 12 hours, each team did, to try and figure out how to, disseminate each team on the opposition And we ended up pulling the victory out, but we're like 27 million GP higher than the other Team Instinct. So it was bound to happen, but we did not clear them. They still had 2 sections on the map that were pretty full, and we did not clear them, and they did not clear us. So we just had a few more kills than them. So it was a really, really, really hard fought fight. And I feel terrible for anyone that has to go against Delta, because the Delta team, they have a really good strategy in place right now.
Absolutely. And then I think that's the TW update. So we'll go to the next question. And it goes to Warrior. Question from Darth Hideous. Question: is a speed mod set the most important mod set in the game? If not, which one is?
That is a blanket statement, and so the answer is no. You can't do that. There are a lot of characters that speed is important, such as R2-D2. So speed wins all. Thrawn, speed wins all, right? Because you want him to go first and swap his turn meter with somebody important or whatever. But there are certain characters you want fast. And yes, speed wins out in Arena 10 times over the one time it's not. However, there are lots of other characters where speed is not important, or at least not as important as other stats. And so to use a blanket statement like that speed wins out and which one is more important, it varies. You know, if I'm looking at Han Solo, I'm probably looking at crit chance, crit damage with speed secondaries. Secondaries become, less important. They're secondary to the primary stats because I'm looking at crit chance, offense, offense triangle, crit damage, or crit damage triangle, offense plus, maybe an offense arrow with 20 plus speed, something crazy like that. But, crit chance, crit damage because he's an attacker. Or maybe it's, Mother Talzin, and I know I'm going to hide her, and I'm going to try and make her fast through speed secondaries, but I'm going to use an offense set because she does special damage. Her crit chance is ridiculously low. She's not going to crit most of the time. So I'm going to be putting in offense so that way she just does more base damage every time she hits. So it varies so much. I think you need to understand how characters work to understand how to do it. I always tell people there's 2 things you should be modding for. One is accentuating the positives of that character. If they're an attacker and doing a ton of damage, accentuate the damage. Like, that's the point of mods, to make damage go from great to insanely stupid good. The other is shoring up their deficiencies. If you have a character like Rex, whose squishy is all get up, he's got the lowest health in the game, health is probably a good thing to add to him because you want him to stay around long enough to use his abilities. So you're either shoring up deficiencies or you're accentuating their strengths in modding. And so you just look at a character and look at their stats. And if you need help, go to SWGOH.gg and look at them on some of their stats to see where they stack up against all the other characters. Are they high? Are they low? And if they're, Rex and Squishy, you want to put some health on him. If they're an attacker that does a lot of damage, you want to put a lot of damage on him. If they're a tank, defense mods to raise their armor rate is probably a very wise thing because it makes them really absorb the damage that you're intending, and a lot of protection. But you wouldn't put a ton of protection on necessarily a support character because maybe you want that support character fast. So it all varies based on the individual you're looking at.
There you go. Well spoken. All right. Next question is for Darth Bella. This is from... good Lord, how do you say this name? Let me try to take a shot at this. Kilosiraptor. Question. What is the best Ewok squad for the Endor escalation without Wicket and the minimum, and what would be the minimum gear to complete it?
That is a Finity question.
He's not here, so trust me, throw Finn these monkey butt in here.
Oh my god!
I know. Yeah, usually I like to give Finn like the crazy questions like Night Sisters or
offline
Ewoks.
if we have a question for him.
Yeah, he's at Temple. Yeah. So
that's not correct. I mean, I just go with what I have. I don't have all my.
Well, who you use? Yeah, do you can you do the? Have you been doing the Ewok escalation, and what do you usually use when you do it if you don't have Wicket?
Yeah, at the moment I just have 2 leaders. That is Tibu or Chirpa, and I didn't build the others up yet. And I know the new ones are much better suited for that. I don't think I did the bonus tier. The other one I 3-starred, but I put my arena mods on my characters, and I have them at gear 8, 9, something like that. So if you want to do the bonus tier, I think you need the new.
They gotta be,
Ewok.
yeah. They've got to be pretty. Oh Lord, they have to be. They have to have the love that only Affinity could give them.
Yeah.
Anybody else with the Ewok team?
I was gonna go with the Chirper lead.
Mm-hmm.
I go for the Chirper lead over the Tebow because he adds 10% to their basic damage. So that works quite well. Plus, I also found that running Tebow lead, Tebow tended to leave Ewok Elder as the only one that wasn't stealthed. So you run the risk with the Tebow lead of losing Ewok Elder, who is the character that you want to kind of protect to give you, because obviously he does a lot of heals, he does the cleansing, plus also he can revive as well. Scouts get Scout up to like 9 or 10, and he really starts to hit. He's going to be your main damage dealer, especially under a Chirper lead. And then,
all right.
whoever's left in the pot from who you farmed.
There you go. All right. Next question is for you, Mike, and it's from Anthony Chamberlain. Question: I have the Akbar lead hat squad. Akbar gear 10, Ventress gear 11 with the unique Zeta, CLS Zeta, IBAL gear 12, BB8 gear 10, Thrawn gear 10. Is their gear high enough?
That's an open question. No, because the maximum it would be the high enough. I would say, but no, he's gonna do well with that. It's you want speed. Speed is gonna be of the essence. You want a fast Thrawn and a very fast BB-8, because BB-8 effectively isn't really gonna do much in the way of actual damage, but what BB-8 is going to do is spam the Akbar assist mechanic, which is what that squad's all about. I love that squad. Somebody posted in our chat thanking me for, because I put that squad out, and I've 20, 22, 25 million. It's brilliant.
Awesome.
It's what you're doing with that is you're just going to try using Thrawn to buff do the protection regens, and a lot of ability spams to just trigger CLS, hopefully.
All right. Next question for Hagar. This is from Aaron Ratliff. Aaron Ratliff. He says, 4 weeks into the game, I took your advice and I have a full Phoenix squad. I should be level 60 by the time Thrawn drops. Will I be able to complete tier 5? And so would he be a replacement on Phoenix?
Ooh, level 60. I'm assuming all Phoenix are level 60. Ooh. That's a tough one.
Yeah, so for the tier 5 Thrawn 60.
Tier 5 though. He said what did you say the gear levels again? I'm sorry.
The no gear level, just that the list level 60. He just wants to know at level 60, will they be able to do the Thrawn event at tier 5?
Oh, depending on his mods, if he has good enough mods, I think. Yeah, I think he's got a good shot. Well, we don't know the gear level. We don't know the mods.
I don't think can he get to gear 7 at 60?
That's a good question.
I don't think he can he? Maybe. I mean, Because when
if you can get to Gear 7, buddy, if you can get to Gear 7, you might have a shot.
Right.
You got a solid chance.
Yeah, for the fifth, tier 5, it should be. You might have a chance. It's hard to say without what mods you're using, that kind of stuff. Well, that's a tough one. I don't know. It'll be close.
When in doubt, try it out.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's all you can do. All right, next question for Warrior. Second here, I'm scooping up questions. They're starting to come a little bit more faster than before. Stupid YouTube. Hold on a second here. I'm about to throw YouTube out the damn window here. Give me a second. There we go. Gotcha. Question for Warrior. From King Caster. Question. I'm trying to do some big damage in P2, the Heroic AT with resistance, no BB-8, and I use R2 for my rebels, so original resistant. What potency percentages am I looking for each tune?
You'll want to be over 60%, preferably closer to 80%, because the PvE tunes have a really high natural tenacity. They build in a really high tenacity, which forces us to mod for potency, because if you don't mod for potency, you won't land your debuffs. Remember that most of the exposes are not guaranteed. Most are a percentage, like 80% or 65% of the time. So even if you have perfect potency, you're still going to have RNG love you or hate you sometimes. But 60 is really minimum, in my opinion, because their tenacity base is like, I think it's 60 or 65%. So you've got to overcome that to get your percentage to apply. But 80% will definitely overcome the tenacity build that they have on those characters. And then that will give you the best opportunity of having your characters do their abilities when, percentage-wise of the time that they're allowed.
All right. Let's put up another question here. Well, then Aaron had back to that previous question. Aaron Rattler said, follow up, what mod should I be using for that tier 5 Thrawn at level 6? And it would be Gear 7. The best mod you got, I would say 5-star, right? I mean, you may not have, but if you can get 5-star mods, put them on there. Good Lord.
Speed secondaries, make sure your speed is high. Speed kills it.
All right.
High secondaries as you can. Get your overall speed up as high as you can, Aaron.
There you go. Give with us and send me a message later on, Aaron. I'll look at your roster and stuff, and we'll go through it. But you should be fine. It's tier 5. Let's see. Next question for Darth Bella. Let's see here. Question from King Caster. Will Luke, Kenobi, and Anakin ever get a ship? They each had a starfighter. Did they not? We have a Ahsoka ship, but not theirs. It seems odd. What do you think about those guys having ships, Bella?
I think we've been talking for a year now that we wanted their ships. I think actually that EA will release rather the new ships of the new movies before they will release ships for the old tunes, like First Order Resistance ones. Because that's how they make the money, right? You go and watch the movie, and then you want this ship.
I mean, it would be nice to have the ships, but
I actually think, especially for Anakin, he is one of the best pilots. He should get a ship.
Yeah. I remember we had that leak a long time ago about Anakin having his ship come out that did crazy stuff. It never kind of came to fruition. So yeah, it'd be nice. I mean, we do need more ships. I don't see why we can't have for
especially Arclight ship.
Yeah, first for an Old Republic fleet, you could put in even Kenobi and Anakin ship at least, and then you could put them in with the clones and stuff. I think it would be really cool to run that with a Mace, Mace lead. So I thought that would be really cool. All right.
I thought that their ships are being held up because of their loan application to Wells Fargo.
Well, that could be the case. You never know with these things. I mean, money runs the world. So, Let's see here. Next question from Danilo Papayas. A question from Mike Hunt, and the question is: my CLS only needs 18 MK8 biotech implant components to get to Gear 11. After Fleet Arena P, I might have the crystals to buy them, but then I have no more crystals. Should I buy them or should I farm them?
Honestly, I'd recommend farming them. It all goes towards your daily 600, which you should always do, everyone. Just a quick plug there for getting your 600 30k yay days. It goes towards your 600s. You get in, you're hunting for the primary piece of gear, and you just add into your stock of all the other gear pieces. Plus also you're getting credits, and personally I would farm as much as possible, and then have a look maybe at the shards over the full pieces. Try and protect crystals as much as possible, and try and get the best bang for your buck out of them. That would be my honest opinion on that.
All right. Next question for Hagar. This is from member Tauntauns. It says, question: do you think that the Gauntlet Starfighter is worth gearing up for 2 crappy pilots? If yes, where would you run it? Starting lineup or bench?
Oh, ships is not my forte, but going from what I've observed from others, the worth gearing up if you're going to use the pilots. I think my Gar and Super Pooper are still like level 1, so I am not going to be using them anytime soon. I think like TIE Reaper or another TIE Fighter might be a better bet if they're based on the pilots. If you're going to be using them to gear them up just for ships, I don't know if you have a definite plan. Hey, Judge Hagar's ruling is no.
What do you think? I mean, Bella, do you have the Gauntlet Starfighter?
Of course I do.
Ah!
I'm just missing 1 ship at 7-star right now.
Oh, that's impressive. What are your thoughts on the Gauntlet?
The problem with the Gauntlet is that just as Hagar said, the pilots are not my top priority, so I didn't build them up high yet. I will eventually. But yet they are not as high. It's a good ship, but frankly, you have better options for Fleet Arena, so they wouldn't go into my Fleet Arena battles. Maybe on TW I use it, and it's not a bad ship for an Empire capital ship.
It's great if you're going against Thrawn lead fleets.
Yes, I was going to say
really, really good against Thrawn. And if you're in the position within your plans, if you can gear 12 both pilots, oh my, that ship goes up a level. It really does.
Yes, of course, they all do. But as I said, if you miss other ships, then it wouldn't be my top priority.
No, but I think Warrior's got something to add to. But Gauntlet against a Thrawn lead is but off the bench, not in the starting lineup.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Is like what everybody else said. Is there's other higher priorities, but if you're in game and you're finalizing some of the finesse ships, the ships that you're trying to bring up like TIE Reaper and those, it is a definite ship at the end game that you'll want to have developed and leveled up. And I use it 100% of the time, but I use it off the bench because he doesn't provide target lock, and you want them to kind of mess up your team a little bit, and then he comes off the bench and he cleanses and puts all his protection back. There's nothing that pisses you off more than when that happens when you're trying to go against them, and it creates this durability which you're looking for because you got to get 5 turns in before you get your ultimate. And so it brings this durability, kind of like when I used to run the Executrix, I would run the Umbaran Starfighter with Biggs because that gives you kind of a durability to get to his ultimate, which is the tie strike or whatever. So it's kind of a game where you've got to have enough attackers and enough defense. And the Gauntlet Starfighter brings in that element of defense that you really can't get any other way. I get bumped out of first into fourth because whoever's in fourth bumps me from first to fourth, and I sit at fourth pretty much all day, every day. Yesterday, I did one ship battle. That was to get from fourth back to first after 23 hours of sitting at fourth. Occasionally, like once a week, I get bumped from fourth to like ninth, or from fourth to like eighth or whatever. But it's super rare. And part of that's because of the back lineup. Everybody can cut through the first five, but what you have in your back lineup is going to make a huge difference. And the Gauntlet's back there, and he is good.
All right. Next question, we'll go to Darth Bella. This is from our boy Two Fingers. And the question is, if I'm running JTR with BB-8, R2, and another droid, is BB-8's other Zeta worth it?
If you have lots of Zetas, you might put it in there. The question was with other droids, right? Because BB-8 himself is a droid. So it has an effect on him as well. I wouldn't put it on him right now, but I think if you have this Zetas, you could try that. And I would see it rather for raids, actually.
All right.
That can run him there with other droids.
Cool. All right. Next question, back to the top. Let's see.
Side note, Riemann just joined us.
Oh, Riemann's here. Riemann, you there, buddy?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, welcome from the Alliance. Riemann, what's going on, buddy?
Not much. I just, I'm sorry I'm late. I just wanted to, I've been a little busy in the morning, but I just wanted to jump on with you guys.
Hey, not a problem. You available to take a question? Might as well throw one at you.
Yeah, sure.
All right. This question's from our good friend Virigian Vigilante. The question is, has anybody read the leak about the Darth Vader rework with Force Choke? Have you read that, Riemann? What do you think?
I haven't read anything about that. There's a rework with Force Choke?
Somebody had put it somewhere out there that there was going to be a rework with him with Force Choke and other things like that.
That's your answer when Riemann says, what?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that would be amazing. That's my instant reaction right there. I guess you can get of that. But I mean, it's I don't know. I mean, I think Vader does need a rework. I mean, I think he's needed one badly since the beginning. I mean, I think when they decided to give him the Zeta, that made him instantly more viable. But I mean, I think that what he's always needed is kind of like a core rework to like his abilities, because I feel like I mean, being the first I guess major chase character. I mean, the one that you're really going after from the beginning. I mean, he's really like the long-term character. Eventually, I mean, like now we all have him, but I'm saying when the game first came out, he was the guy that you couldn't imagine the day you were going to have him 7 stars. Now that we all have him at 7 stars, I mean, it'd be nice being that. I mean, he's pretty much the main character of Star Wars. I mean, the entire first 6 movies are pretty much about him. It's a little bit more of a viable character. I mean, all around. I think he's a decent leader for the Empire and possibly Sith if you have the right pieces. But I think that as a character, as like a support character, he could be a lot better. I mean, it'd be great if you could just throw Vader in there, like you could throw Thrawn in there or CLS in there into any team and use him, right? So
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, as far as like the specifics of like a rework, I don't know if that's on the table or not, but I mean, if it is, that'd be awesome.
There you go. All right. Back to the top, we'll go to Mike. Next question from David Rodriguez. Question: when the New Hope reworks came, David Rodriguez question: when the New Hope reworks came, it made them very good. Why are they not viable in Arena? To include CLS, OG Han, Leia, Old Ben, and GK seems hard to beat.
Hey,
Why doesn't that team work in Arena?
What? Hang on. Which team are we talking about?
So, question: when the New Hope reworks came, it made them very good. Why are they not viable in Arena? For CLS, OG, Han, Leia, Old Ben, and General Kenobi seems hard to beat.
It is. Geared, right? It would be quite hard to beat. It's the I know. I'm struggling here. I've just been past a very nice.
Yeah, it's a great team. He's saying why isn't it a good team? And it's not that it's a bad team. It's that nobody's using that exact team composition because of one character, and that's Leia. Which, to be honest, she goes stealth and she's a pretty hard damage dealer. The problem is the RNG doesn't play her right. It allows her to go out of stealth before she goes back into stealth. Whereas when you play her, you go stealth, and then she gets an extra turn and extra buffs. So it's not as good on defense. But Han Solo, people use CLS, Han Solo, Old Ben, and R2. Like right now, it's all over the meta. It's just that fifth slot normally is GK or Thrawn or something like that, not Leia. That's the only difference.
There you go.
Or even
I mean,
cold Han.
Yeah, I mean the whole rebel team is like kind of it's really, I think that there's not a great leader in there, right? I mean that would be the main thing. I mean because Leia, like you said, Leia and Han are the only ones that really have like a leader ability, and
CLS does.
Oh, yeah, you're counting CLS. Yeah, okay. So I mean, I guess that could be a good faction. I guess if you put them all together. But I mean,
for Arena, see, that's the question.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like Warrior said, nobody really is using it. And if you put the Zetas on all of them, I think they would be decent. But there still would be better options.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It is a very Zeta hungry squad to make it really hard hitting and sustainable.
Aren't they all now though? I think I have my team.
Yeah, this is true. But
I've got like 16 Zetas done, and I'm sitting here. I was looking at my team the other day, like I have nothing. 16 Zetas, and I'm like, man. I need more. It's like, oh my god, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, my list seems to be growing rather than shortening. I must admit.
Yeah, the struggle is real. All right, next question from member Tauntauns. This is for Hagar. Question: what is the minimum gear to run Bounty Hunter successful in all stages of Darkside territory battles? And is Greedo better run over Cad Bane considering how much gear he needs?
Greedo Cad. Cad just doesn't do it for me. Cad's a Jedi killer, so for me, he's kind of out based on that. So I'll go Greedo. The gear levels. I've been delinquent on my bounty hunters, so I would say I would start with 9. 9 is what I usually start with and see what that works. I need to work on my bounty hunters, but troopers have the priority. Troopers and Wampa have the priority right now. So Greedo and try G9.
Yeah, you had said something I remember before. We were talking about this a while ago when it first came out. About for the different instances. I mean, I've changed some substance there, but using Greedo for one of them and then Cad Bane for the other one.
Did I? Is that me?
No, Warrior.
Oh, Warrior.
I don't remember that conversation off the top of my head, but if you're trying to go for the bomb synergy and stuff, then the thermal detonator synergy, then Greedo, but Cad Bane is just got the stun, and he's kind of it depends on like who you're going against, because if you're going against teams that allow for the thermal detonators to sit, then that's good. But if you're going against like rebels and stuff like that are constantly cleansing, it's worthless. So It just depends what you're going against.
Yeah, I think that was what it was for the Wampas. You use one, and then for the rebels you use a different kind. All
Oh yeah, for the Wampas, I was using thermal detonators because they let them sit on top of them, so you can stack the hell out of the thermal detonators over the Wampas. I think it's a special mission, and then the regular missions, you're going against rebels and they're going to cleanse. So I'd rather have the stun, because if you stun them, they can't smash you back, which is what they do. So yeah, that's I remember now. That was it.
All right. Let's see. Next question. This will go to Darth Bella. We'll kind of go around. This is kind of an open-ended question, but the question, Darth Bella, is from Darth Meow. Question: what are viable JTR counters that don't include meta teams? No Night Sisters, no CLS, no General Kenobi, Zaris, or Thrawn. Well, you kind of took out all the counters I would have. Jesus. God. Let's think outside the box here, Bella. Can we think of anything that could counter a Jedi?
Yeah, probably as Evox. I don't know.
No Night Sisters, no CLS, no General Kenobi or Zaris or Thrawn. Jedi training rate counter.
You laugh, but was it Cubs fan Han did a meta killer?
Yeah, I'm being facetious.
Yeah, Ewoks were in there.
I'm trying to think.
Let me bring up this video real quick.
Anybody?
Hold on, give me a sec.
There's a lot of creative solutions, like a Darth Maul Zeta lead works again. Darth Vader, you can bring him back. A Thrawn-led Empire team works pretty well.
No Thrawn, you can't use Thrawn.
Oh, he said no Thrawn.
And then you can get the Darth Vader in. I mean, he didn't say.
The other thing is you can use
Feet
any team you use. Just take and put B2 in there. I'm going to beat the B2 drum, but he's coming back. Like, he was amazing, and Riemann knows. Riemann can attest how amazing B2 was. Riemann used to own everybody with his B2, and then he kind of lost his way a little bit over the last 6 months. But he's back, and he's back with a vengeance. The B2 is phenomenal in the background because he's just constantly taking turns and cleansing the other team, and that is slowing down that team, and that team has to ramp up. So every team that has to ramp up, think about it like someone that's running with a pole that's going to pole vault, and you trip them halfway through. You know what I mean? It's kind of that analogy. You're going to trip them halfway through their ramping up. So B2, you can't get the IPD, then don't use the B2. But the IPD is a better version. The Imperial Probe Droid is a better version of the B2 because not only does it remove buffs, but it puts the target lock down, which helps remove turn meter, and it prevents them from getting additional buffs.
Yeah. Yeah, B2 is a great option. You just run Vader in B2 with some other members, you could be just fine taking that team out. But
I can interrupt for a moment. The new Gunray stealth team is an option. New R2, Leia, and then Zombie and Acolyte.
That could work. Not a bad combination using that. That could work.
Yeah, that's the question. But check out Cubs fans Han's video called SWGOH, the anti-meta 5 non-meta teams that rock. So check out that.
There you go, Darth.
Can't you do that with Cup and Mob Enforcer as well?
I wouldn't bet on that. No.
Mob Enforcer, how dare you, sir?
No? Okay. I thought they were throwaways.
Quit trolling, Mike. God damn. I don't have Finn here. Doesn't mean you need to take up the mantle. Let's see here. Next question for Warrior. Lord Thanos has a question. What defensive territory war compositions have you had the best success with? Also, do you guys run any random squads that do well in territory wars for defense?
There was one which is one of the best squads we've had in territory wars defensively, and the second was a Rhino squad. Say that again?
Well, it says what is the best? So I'll read it again. What defensive? What defensive territory war compositions have you had the best success with? Also, do you guys run any random squads that does well in territory wars for defense?
Okay, so yes, we have a lot of teams that we're working on. We have, the 7 solid that everybody talks about, which is like a Jedi Ray-led defensive team, a CLS team, the Kylo Ren Unmasked-led First Order, a Night Sisters with a Asajj Ventress lead. Darth Maul leads Sith teams. I mean, there's a bunch of like go-tos that everybody has figured out and kind of uses. We have some other hybrid ones that we use that we're mixing up. Rex led with Darth Nihilus and Barriss and General Kenobi. Those kinds of like any meta team from the last. Basically, if you know of a meta team over the last 6 months that was meta for a long time, like the Titan team with CLS and Thrawn, those are the teams. Also, like a Thrawn lead with Director Krennic and Death Trooper and Darth Nihilus and things like that, Shore Trooper. Those are all really, really good go-tos. The most creative one that I've seen that works really well, but we can only build a couple of them, I think like 2 of them, is the Wampa and Darth Vader led Wampa team, where you have Darth Vader with the dots, you've got Tusken Shaman with the dots and the heel, and you've got the Wampa. It's just all a damage over time team. It's built completely damage over time, and it's got the Wampa there, and I think the Wampa outshines everybody else. But that's a super fun team, and the reason is a lot of people use their kind of like CLS meta team to like get through some of these tougher nodes, and when they find those, it's like, oh crap, they can't use that because he ramps up and he gets stronger and stronger, and he's hitting for 50k in just one shot in fools. So that's probably the most interesting team. I have seen offensively more creativity than defensively, because you don't want to leave a lot of creativity defensively. You want to have the very best of the best. Offensively, you're left with trash. At least I am, because I use all my best teams for defense. So I have to use my Ewoks to take down like a Darth Maul Zeta. I have to use my Phoenix squad if I'm going against like Empire. I've got to use different teams to that I'm not using on defense. Now, a lot of people use their Phoenix as a defensive team, and that's not a bad idea, especially if you're a lower end guild, because, well, how many teams do you guys have, right? So you've got to pick and choose, and Phoenix are annoying. Actually, Phoenix are one of the best defensive teams out there, and I'll tell you why. Everybody underestimates them. Phoenix is trash. And to be honest, in Arena, that's why nobody runs them, is because even with their Zetas, they're not going to hang with the very, very, very highest end teams, although they're good. They're very good. But they underestimate them. So people either underestimate or overestimate Phoenix. They either send in a team that they think can beat the Phoenix, and then they inevitably lose and prime that team up for the next battle, and the next person underestimates, and it just chews through teams, and people are underestimating the Phoenix squad, and then they lose and lose and lose. Or they overestimate, and they use a team that's way too powerful to beat it, and they end up losing a team they should have used against a tougher team. So I love the Phoenix for other guilds. We don't use the Phoenix for defense. We use them for offense, but it's a phenomenal, probably the MVP for other guilds. And if you have played many territory wars, and most of you have, you'll notice this. If you've put out a node, you'll notice your Phoenix node does a lot better most of the time than other nodes. And that's because of people either using teams that are way too powerful and they waste those teams and then can't finish you off, or they use teams that are less powerful and lose because they underestimated those. So Phoenix is definitely MVP.
Okay. Next question for Darth Bella. This is from Gus989. The question is, Anakin or Qui-Gon Jinn is a Jedi team leader in the Territory Wars? If you had to pick one of those two as your leader for Jedi, who would you pick?
General Kenobi.
That wasn't the option.
I know.
You can't pick General Kenobi. There's no General Kenobi. Nah. Anakin or Qui-Gon Jinn?
Yeah, I would choose Qui-Gon Jinn if he's Zeta.
Yeah, it's a great choice. If he wasn't Zeta, would you still pick him, or would you go with Anakin?
Yeah, probably I would take Anakin then. But Qui-Gon Jinn Zeta is still good.
I agree. All right. Let's see. Let's see here. Next question. You still there, Remon?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. The next question is for you, my friend. This is from Danilo Papayas, and the question is: I am only one Omega from. I am only one Omega from being able to Zeta. It binds all things. But since I'm not fighting meta teams and my Sith are my strongest faction, is it okay to Zeta Maul's leader ability first?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it binds all things is that's not the tenacity, right? That's the other one.
I without top of my head, yeah, I think you're correct on that.
That's the one you really want to have for CLS.
It binds all things. I'm trying to think which one is that. Brain fart.
There's one for CLS.
He gives him potency and does all this. He grows health and protection. He gains turn meter when he flicks a debuff, and gives turn meter to them. So I don't know. I mean, if you want to do Zeta Maul, you can, but I mean, binds all things is pretty important for CLS.
Yeah. That's like I mean, if it was the other one, like if it was the one for the tenacity,
yeah,
I would say yeah. Then maybe just go ahead and work on your Maul. But I mean, it binds all things, like pretty much makes CLS. Mm-hmm. So I mean, like I would say you have to do that one first.
Yeah, I agree.
Once that's done, then go for Zal.
Yeah. I know picking Zetas can be a tough choice, but I mean, you won't. That one for Luke, I agree, is a great one.
He's the best character in the game. You got to say to that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you have CLS do that right now. Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. I think that's all the normal questions. I'm not seeing any other ones. I'll make sure. No, we are not seeing those. So, all right. So with that, we'll get to some of the fun questions and kind of end the stream then. So, if you have any questions, get them in now. I'll go to the fun questions. If you scoop one in next minute or two, then I'll try to scoop it in. If not, then we'll go ahead and end the stream. But let's go ahead and get to some of the fun questions. We have one from Frederick Nielsen that was earlier in the stream, but it says, question for the whole panel, what is your favorite Grande quote? He's had so many. Like around the corn. Is there anything that stands out to you guys from the old Grande? It could be just him misreading, but is there anything that's the old Grande quotes from the day that you guys remember that you love?
I think he says around the corn most.
No, that's his classic one. I think his misreadings are the ones that really get you, where he's like, "What? What the hell did you just say?" Ali Booba was a great one. It's supposed to be allied, but it was Ali Baba. Of course, Ali Baba and the 40 Knights name came from that. I'm trying to think.
What's the one guy in Antichicus? The one starts with the player starts with an A that he always puts. Arcturus the Dark Knight.
Arcturus Dark Knight.
That's funny. I just got one from you. You said Ali Boba and the 40 Knights. It's Ali Boba and the 40 Thieves.
Well, no, that's. I mean, someone changed their name to that because of what he had said and stuff. So actually, no. What is it? Ali Boba. What did he change his name to? Ali Boba and the 40 Rebels. I'm sorry, because Grande had said it's supposed to be Allied Bubba, and he called it Ali Bubba, and everybody was just like, "What the hell are you talking?"
That's Ali Boba. He's joining us in the stream today.
If you've not seen the year thing we did for the upcoming events, where you see Grande learns to read, watch that with Tits McMahon, where she's trying to teach him to read.
Ali Boba and the 40 Rebels. He just said hello.
Oh, there he is. Hey. But yes, there's been so many. Comb Cobra ask, let's see, who's, for any NFL fans here, if we have any, who's everyone wanting to win the games this weekend? I really don't have any. I mean, Titans maybe. I don't really have a dog in the fight. I know Finity's got the Steelers. Hagar or anybody? I mean, any teams that you guys are watching, hoping that they'll win?
Not really following it this year.
What about you, Warrior?
Yeah. When your team goes out, like when your team's pretty much done for the season in like week 3, you just throw the towel in on football. You know what I mean? Yeah,
that's me too.
the Giants tanked it big time. I don't even want to talk about the Giants this year.
Yeah,
You know, this is like a horrible year.
it was
I mean,
very
you know,
much.
this is one of those years for Giant history where you just want to like turn and look the other way and just pretend like it didn't happen.
Well, for me, for my
You know what I mean?
Cowboys, they had a winning record, but it's just what's really sucks about for me, and it's like they could have done so much better, but that 6-game suspension on Elliott just ruined the season, and it's just like, damn it.
I can't believe that jerk benched Eli Manning when he was still. I mean,
I don't know how you
like just
bench
to try
Eli Manning.
to try to take one last shot to save his job. He benched Eli Manning and ruined his streak. I'll never forgive that guy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the games. I don't see any really competitive games other than I think the Vikings and the Saints is going to be a really good game. I think that's the one to watch. So we'll leave it at that. And then Thane asked, what was Ranger's reaction to the video I made for him reacting to TI versus Dark Lords? I thought it was brilliant. We will be doing something with that. We put it on the stream. If you've not seen it, just don't worry. We'll be putting it up. I think I'll try to, if I can, if Finn gets it done, I'll link it tonight. If not, we'll run the Wednesday stream. It'll be there, and you guys can see what Thane did. I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it, but it's ridiculous. I was in tears laughing. It was so good. It's wrong. Thane. If it wasn't so funny, I'd punch you in the throat. No, I wouldn't do that.
I sent it to Finn asking, had he seen it yet?
What's that?
I sent it to Finity asking if he'd seen it.
Oh,
yet.
yes. You know, Finn saw it immediately. Come on, man. They've been giving me shit for forever, man. And I'm just going to say, Warrior, when you face Dark Lord Valors, can you do something for me? Can you slaughter those fools for me? So,
they're a tough bunch, man.
They're a tough bunch, but I
awesome.
expect greatness from you and Bravo to avenge me. You must avenge me, Warrior.
Yes.
And then I'll have you on and we'll just talk mad shit to those fools. See, Justin Tyner question: will there be a drunk mad list for tonight's stream? Hopefully, if I get to the I'm really slammed at the moment. I got a ton of schoolwork. If I get to the liquor store, I'll try to do some get to that. But it depends. It's just schedule, man. It's just if I get out of the house and get there, it's just like God. But I've got 2 papers due and a project. It's like, oh Jesus. And then I got a final to take this weekend, so it'll be crazy. So, and then Angel asked, we'll make this the last question. We'll just throw this around the corn, as Grandi would say. Question: how does Savage Oppressed work as a 5th for a Night Sister team? Ooh. Anybody thought about a Savage Oppressed with the Night Sister team?
I've heard it works very well, actually.
I hadn't even thought about that. That's true.
Night Sisters beat them up into the yellow, and then Savage just takes them out.
The issue is not that it doesn't work well. It does work well because he can just curb stomp. The problem is he can only curb stomp once in a battle normally because of its refresh. So he's pretty useless up until he gets to use his special on someone, which is good for taking out a critical person. But so is IPD or Darth Nihilus kind of thing. So it's one of those things where there's so much better synergy and so much better if you actually use another Night Sister. Night Sisters is one of the few factions where you really should run 5 Night Sisters, because you benefit the greatest from having the Night Sisters together. Putting in other people like General Kenobi and things like that work, and they're pretty good, but I still feel like that faction does best when it's strictly the Night Sisters due to the synergy.
I agree with that.
I know that's surprising when I saw last night. Someone was running Geonosian Spy in their RJT team. And similar to Savage, I had to look up the ability. It's like for every buff on an enemy, his ability gains 40% damage. So if you do the RJT buffs or after an Illuminate Destiny, they've got a crap load of buffs on them. I saw him do 57,000 damage. But again, like Warrior said, it's only used for once per battle. But it's an interesting thing to try.
Absolutely.
Sorry, keep going.
And then Jonathan Law says, who would win in the red shirts or the stormtroopers? It would be the stormtroopers. The stormtroopers would shoot. They would miss completely. And the red shirts should just fall over dead. Come on now. Come on. That's. Come on now. Come on, Jonathan. You already knew the answer to that. That's a trick question. All right, so that's all the questions. So we will go around a little bit earlier ending, but that's fine. Let's go around and let everybody pimp their stuff. Warrior, where can folks check you out at?
Well, they can find me on YouTube at Warrior Presents, or my sub channel that's called Warriors Roster Reviews. It depends on whether they want to see the roster reviews or not. If so, I have a review for everybody, every different kind of style, from free to play to whales. Find that on Warriors Roster Reviews. And then my Warrior Presents is everything but roster reviews, all the different stuff. I do Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, and then I also started just yesterday doing videos for Legends Reborn. I'm not going to go too into that, but if you've heard of that or interested in checking that out,
is it worth it?
My channel. So it's brand new, you see, so it's going to be very basic. You know, when you go into, remember Star Wars, when it was in its pre-build, it didn't have anything. It didn't have guilds. It didn't have basically anything other than, you know, some light side, dark side battles, some basic cantina battles, and arena. That was like it. When it first launched, there was not a whole lot to it. The same thing is true with this game. It's brand new. It's still in pre-build. Matter of fact, a lot of people on iOS still can't find the game, and they're having to do weird things with emulators or changing their country code to find it and stuff. But it's a pretty fun game. It's basically a knockoff of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. But if something's not broke, don't fix it. They basically know that the base of Star Wars is good. And then the characters are legends type characters like Alibaba, we were talking about, or you know, Spartacus or Talos from you know, or Medusa. I mean, it's characters from mythology and or like William Wallace. You know, he's a legend now. Because of his past. And so it's got characters like that instead of Star Wars. It's mythological and legends type characters. It's really fun. I personally enjoy it because instead of 3, you know, regular arena, ships arena, and midnight reset, it's just got 1 reset a day. And there's a bunch of little improvements like that. You know, the free pack you get to open is to the far left. So like they took, because they all play Star Wars, so they took everything they hate about Star Wars and fixed it in this new game. And that alone made me want to play it, because I'm like, these developers are badass. They're taking something that's good and making it great by making those small UI improvements that everybody's been asking for. But you know, nothing will replace Star Wars. I love Star Wars. I'll always be playing this game. So you know, that's that. If you want to check it out, go check it out on my channel.
All right. Mike, where can people check you out at?
I've got a YouTube channel, mike.hunt.swgoh. 99.99999% of it is there's a homage there to Thane somewhere, sneakily inserted. Yeah, is Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Like Warrior, love the game. I've got a ridiculous amount of videos uploaded already. I've got more coming through. So I've got the Death Panda event, and then the activation of said murderous panda.
Okay.
And leveling up. Yeah, I've got some. And
how many videos are you at?
Oh man, how many? 1,400 something.
1,400 videos.
Something like that. Hang on, I'm just going on to my channel. Oh, I've got additional subs. Yay! About 7. I've got lots of views. I've got stupid amount of videos. It's not telling me. Over 1,400.
A plethora. We'll just say a plethora.
Yes. You name it, and I've recorded it.
There you go.
I even do like daily activity prize box videos.
There you go.
So come along and have a look.
All right.
I'll be doing some Call of Duty soon as well.
All right.
In case you want.
Awesome. Darth Bella, where can folks check you out?
Can check me out on YouTube, Darth Bella. I've got a channel there. And on your stream.
Yes.
On our stream.
That's right. Anything new on there, Bella? Are you still trying to get things situated?
Yeah, I mean, I've been without internet for 3 weeks, and that was a Stone Age experience because television and Bluetooth and network printers, nothing worked. And yeah, started reading books and listened to stereo again, like music stereo and stuff like that. That was quite an experience. So,
I bet it was.
So no new videos right now. I have to set up things still. I take my time. I don't need to rush, I think.
All right. Let's see here. And then finally, Hagar, pimp your stuff, my friend.
Believe it or not, I have a YouTube channel. It's to search Hagar, SWGOH, and you'll find me, HAGAR. And I do, game videos. I've been doing some Wampa stuff and loving up my Wampa, so I've been doing a lot of that. I do mod reviews. If you'd like your mods reviewed by me and or celebrity guests, Ranger did one with me earlier. You can find me there. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter. It's Andy Hagar VO is my Instagram and also my Twitter. And hit me up and join the journey that is Star Wars with me.
Awesome. And Remon, are you still there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm here, brother.
All right, brother, pimp your stuff, my friend.
Well, you can find me on my YouTube channel at Ramona Zob and on Twitter at Ramona Zob. And I do a weekly live show for the Alliance on Saturday nights. We'll be streaming tonight, probably interrupting the middle of Ranger stream like we usually do. And yeah, I make Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes videos. Have been for a long time. I've got videos coming up here. There's going to be a video about the Wampa coming up pretty soon. So definitely come check it out. I appreciate you having me on.
All right. And then, of course, if you're here, that means you're enjoying the RSG channel, which means you're watching Jedi Academy. We run this as much often as we can, every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern. Also, we have the late night stream, which we'll do tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern, where we just kind of sit back, play the game, and answer your questions. And then every Wednesday is the big stream where we get all the latest news of the week and new news and tell you what it all means on our Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern stream, where it's just basically we answer your questions, but we also break down all the latest news and notes and new characters, all that kind of stuff. And so those are the 3 streams we do a week. We do other streams. There's other information out there for you. Finn's still putting together the newbie stream content that we put together. He's put in one mad video together, but it takes time to edit and put all that together. So that'll be out soon. I'll get on him about that because people have been asking questions. But yeah, appreciate everybody being here in chat. Thank you all for being here. Remember, like and subscribe to this channel, but to all these other great YouTubers that have been here. They take the time to be here and to help support you guys and answer your questions. And so it would behoove you. We would appreciate it if you would do the same for them. So give them the thumbs up, give them the subscribe button, find out what their latest content is, and help support them and helps their channels grow and keeps the community getting bigger and stronger. So on behalf of myself and the panel, thank you for being here today. Very much appreciated. So we will end stream there, and if you'll be on the late night stream, we'll see you then. If not, then we'll see you whenever you pop in. So everybody take care, have a great weekend, and we'll holler at you later.